inside the main section to be on a single row. So I'm going to use display flex too. So display flex will allow the block tag to have the attribute of an inline tag. So the display flex, we let them to accommodate other tags beside them. Then I'm going to give it an height of 70% of the container, not of the body of the container. Then I'm going to give it a padding. So a padding of 50 pixels at the top, because it started from like 12 o'clock. 50 pixels at the top, so it's going to move the content downward by 50 pixels from the top. Then I'm going to give it a padding of 4 pixels to the right, the 3 o'clock, and I'm going to give it 0 bottom so that it will not shift it upward, and I'm going to give it a 50 pixel to the left so that it's going to shift it inward from the left by 50 pixel. So I'm going to now work on my paragraph link. That is the div that contains the paragraph and the link. I'm going to give it a width. So this width we make it to string. So I'm going to give it a width of 40 pixel, 40 pixel of the 40%, sorry, of the main section, and I'm going to give it a padding top of 48 pixel. But by now you're supposed to know what padding top is. Going to move the content inward from the top by 48 pixel. So now I'm going to work on the main paragraph, that is the paragraph inside this paragraph link container. So I'm also going to give it a width and padding, just to make sure that it doesn't crowd the circle that I want to create. So to do that, I'm going to start by the ID of the main paragraph. I'm going to give it a width of, let's say, 30% of the 40%, and I'm going to give it a font size. I want to reduce the font size. It's too big for me, and I feel like, okay, let's reduce the size to 10 pixel, and I'm going to give it a padding like I said. So the padding should be, let's say, let me give it a padding of what padding can I give it now? Okay, before let me okay, so I still have to give it. Okay, now you can see that there is no space for the, what's it called? There is no space for the circle. So you might feel that there is no space for the circle, for the container of the circle, but there is. It's because we have not yet specified the width and height. That's why it's not showing. So now let's go ahead and style our circle so that you can see the that there is a space for it. Is because we have not yet specified the width, we have not yet specified the height. That's why it's not showing. That's why the space is like that. So for the circle, we are going to give it the same width and height, so it has to be the same. We're going to give it 250 pixel and height of 250 pixel. Then we are going to do a border radius of 50%. So once you have the same width and height, and you use a border radius of 50%, it's going to change um, the container to a circle. Even if it is an image tag, is going to change to circle. Even if is going to change to circle. So that is just it. If it has the same height and width, it's going to change into a circle. Is going to change into a circle. So um we're going to go ahead and give it a background color of goldenrod. So once we've done that, as you can see, the space is there. Once we've done that, it's going to show in the web page. So um it's going to show in the, now I've maximized my um my browser, and as you can see, it is there. So let's go ahead. So the next thing now is for us to style the text. So we want the text to overlap on the circle, and we want it to be big, and we want it to move downward and inward. So what we are going to do is that we're going to do a padding top, the padding of 100 pixel from the top, 55 peso from the right, then zero bottom, zero left. So we are going to bring it inward. We are going to use a let's increase the font size. Let's increase the font size. So we are going to use a font size of, let's say, 55 peso. I think that is better. You can choose any one here, but I believe it's better for you to choose your peso, to choose your font size yourself. So you can see now that it's big enough. To me, it's big enough. And if you still want to increase this, you can go ahead and increase yours. Then we're going to use a margin left of minus. So minus, we do the opposite of what the positive we do. Positive, we move it further away. It will move it further away, whereas the minus will bring it nearer. So we bring it nearer. So the minus 32 peso means that bring it nearer by 32 peso. So that's it. And we're going to I don't think the 9 IT is even necessary, but let me just put it. I use it because I feel like maybe it's going to, break the test into two. To me, I feel like okay, but it's totally unnecessary here. You don't need it here. You only need it if you are working with all this lorem and you just want to give it a line height, you see. But this one is not a paragraph, so I don't see why it's necessary. So I use width instead. So width does the what I want. It moves it, it breaks it into two. So I just have to increase it by 20 to 25 from 20, so that the ease we go up instead of be on a separate line. So now I'm going to go ahead and style the foot the foot section.